Introduced in the mid-late 80s, a new sound from Harlem emerged on the music scene that would make a huge impact on the music industry. Blending elements of R&B, rap, funk, gospel, hip-hop, layered with amazing bass lines, catchy melodies, syncopated drums, and soul funk R&B samples, this upbeat, energetic genre was taking over the music charts from the late 80s to the early 90s. If you haven't guessed it, we're talking about New Jack Swing. Along with its infectious beats, groove-based party dances, and vibrantly colorful fashion, New Jack Swing spilled over into other mediums. You can find its influence in movies and TV shows. Teddy Riley is known as the king of New Jack Swing, but some other pioneering producers that had hands in pushing the genre forward include Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, L.A. Reid and Babyface, Andre Harrell, Dallas Austin, Bernard Bell, The Untouchables, Jermaine Dupri, Dr. Freeze, and the Bomb Squad, just to name a few. If you're unfamiliar with this genre, I'm certain you've heard some New Jack Swing from artists like Janet Jackson, Keith Sweat, New Edition, as a group and as their solo acts, Guy, Heavy D, Michael Jackson, and even from some actors, comedians, and non-music entertainers who wanted to pursue musical endeavors during that time. Yes, we love New Jack Swing. The singles get us up and dancing and reminds us of how great music can be. And while New Jack Swing gained much popularity through its well-known hits, there's an intriguing and often overlooked aspect of New Jack Swing records: the hidden treasures found in their B-sides and remixes. When singles were released to promote an artist's upcoming project, they included other versions of the songs. These other versions allow artists and producers to experiment with new sounds, genres, and ideas, and generally to bring a new perspective to the original track while still keeping the integrity and the essence of the song. Although they were most times less popular than the main version, these fresher takes on the songs have attracted newer audiences to the artist. We can call these tracks remixes or B-sides. Let's quickly define some common remixes and B-sides that can be found on New Jack Swing recordings. There are radio mixes, which are usually the main track, more geared for radio play in content and length. There are extended mixes. These are longer in length and may have additional parts and sections. They're also great for DJs when mixing records. There are street mixes. These versions are traditionally arranged to appeal to more urban audiences. Club mixes. These are tracks and reworkings targeted for the dance floor. DJ-specific mixes and edits. These are remixes from other popular producers or collectives. Then we have dubs. These versions more so emphasize the instruments in the track. So there's more energy on the percussion, drums, it utilizes effects like reverb, and typically there are little to no vocals. Okay, let's do a small case study. I'm gonna go through some records that have these alternative remixes, and I'll point out the clear differences from the original to the rework track. Let's start off with a radio mix. Radio mixes have to comply with broadcasting limitations and rules. So that means it must not have like any explicit content or language, and they must meet time limits. So sections may be cut shorter or taken out to meet those rules in order to get your record played. And in that time, radio was significant in getting your record heard and pushed to wider audiences. Let's play Rex and Effects Rump Shaker. The intro is adjusted to go on top of the horn instrument as opposed to being isolated and played by itself like in other versions. Alright, so no matter how many times I try to edit this video, it keeps getting blocked by YouTube, mainly for this example that I had for the radio mix. I played Rex and Effects Rump Shaker, I played the radio edit, and then I played like an album version or another remix of it. But pretty much you just hear how the radio version is slightly altered to fit radio guidelines and limitations. So yeah, we're just gonna move on to the other versions. Next, we have the extended mix. We'll look at MC Trouble's I Wanna Make You Mine. The extended mix is longer in length and has added instruments. There's also way more energy in this alternate version. It's great for DJs with transitions and New Jack Swing enthusiasts or music lovers in general. I love that we get a slightly more energetic take on this track. For this next one, I'll play Shanice's It's For You. This track was a part of the soundtrack for Meteor Man starring Robert Townsend. We have the main promo track here. And then the street mix. Instead of the drum and bass arrangement of the original version that we just heard, we get a whole boom bap reworking of the track with the same vocals as the original track. Also, we lose the softness of the pads and chords that were originally complementing Shanice's voice. And with this one, we get harder hitting drums, edgier drums that's meant to target more of the black audience. Cool, let's move on to the club mixes. These are versions that are meant for the clubs, dance floors, and the joints that are just supposed to get you up and dancing. They may have more exaggerated build-ups, more sections and instruments in the music. For real, they're meant to get you hyped. I'm noticing in this one, there are longer drum parts, longer breaks between hooks and verses, and more vocal parts of Teddy Riley. For the DJ specific remix, I have MC Light's Ice Cream Dream from the Mo Money soundtrack. This soundtrack was produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
And they tapped Jermaine Dupri for the remix.
Chocolate all the way through. I'd lick you.
And then finally, my personal favorite, there are dubs. This one I had to do a bit more research to figure out the origins of this, but these versions more so emphasize the instruments in the track. So there's energy on the percussion, on the drums, sometimes there's effects like reverb, and typically there are little to no vocals. Pretty much a reshaping of the song, mainly using the percussion and the instrumental portions. Some dubs may be in a completely different genre, like this one I'm about to show you. Here is Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 album. One of the new Jack Swing tracks on it is Alright, the opening track on side 2. And then on the promo release for the single, there's a house dub produced by Shep Pettibone, who has also had much success remixing tracks for folks like Madonna, Jane Child, Lisa and the Cult Jam, Mariah Carey, and many others. In this remix, the essence of the track is still there through the bass line and other rhythmic sounds reminiscent of the original track. The vocals are used more like a percussive instrument, which I love, and new life has been given to this track with more drums and an exciting drum arrangement. And since we're on Janet, I'm gonna throw you a bonus. There's so many versions of this song that appeal to several audiences. So we have the one that we just listened to. There's an R&B remix of this track that has a verse by Heavy D. And then there's a whole other record with more remixes like these. Every time I find a remix I've never heard before, it feels like I've pretty much found gold. I encourage you all to find more hidden treasures within these kinds of releases in New Jack Swing or any other genre that you like. You'd be surprised by what you can hear and find, especially in the liner notes. These very alternative versions deeply influence the way I arrange music and how I curate my cool DJ sets that I perform live and post here on YouTube. If you'd like, comment your favorite B-sides and remixes in the comment section, and let's just continue to explore the diverse range of New Jack Swing or any other genre that you love. All right, peace.